So good morning, all. Can we go ahead, Dinesh, Ravi? Am I audible? Sounds okay, Ram. Yeah, okay, fine. Hey, good morning, all of you. I'm extremely happy to be part of this great webinar series that Sixth Race My Slate has taken to the larger pool across the country in a common platform. I've been told more than 800 students from six different states expected to join this webinar. Already, I could see good number of students. See, that's a great advantage that this COVID-19 has created for us. It has connected all of us beyond boundaries. I'm also told that there are a lot of placement officers also joined. I salute your passion to know what is happening in the industry and what others are all doing. And happy to note that some of our alumni also have written to me saying that they will also like to join the webinar. It's always our pleasure to have you guys. Sathyabama always believe that you are a great ambassador. Thank you for joining. Self-skilling. The topic for today's discussion is one of my favorite one. So quickly I picked up. In fact, like I have told the organizers when even Dinesh and Robin reached out, I told there is no slide I can talk on because like this is the one that we have been telling and pushing our students for years. So and up to one to the present scenario also. This is not, as I told you, this is not a new one. I'm sure Sathyabama students and alumni might be aware that we have been insisting this for years, self-skilling. It's also the great advantage, it's also give you the great advantage ahead of other students to stay in the competition. We keep motivating our students to get into the habit of e-learning and self-learning. Now, the present pandemic created a situation to self-skill or perish. Hope you have heard from different industries talking about learn, unlearn, and relearn. They also call it as skilling, upskilling, and reskilling. You have to keep learning. Every day, something or other new technology comes up. If you are not ready to learn and relearn, and learn, unlearn, and relearn, definitely you will be considered as outdated. There are other people who's ready to like relearn or like reskill themselves will get the advantage and overtake you. When I say learning, it's no more the traditional way of classroom teaching. Industry started moving away from that long back, not after COVID. It's happening for a long time. You should be able to learn on your own, and that is what is self-learning is. Most of the organizations start engaging the students in the final semester to learn their curriculum. I mean, I'm talking about the industry curriculum. Earlier, they used to call them to the industry. After onboarding, they used to conduct them, 3 to 6 months of training and all those things. Now, those are all gone. Students are expected to complete these training programs before joining. It's not only completion, lot of them set benchmark to be achieved before joining the organization. We all know that it's a common term that everybody keeps saying that change is the only constant in the world. But none of us would have imagined that this so-called invisible enemy can bring this much change into our lifestyle. What we are witnessing is completely out of our imagination. But that is going to be the new normal. Believe me, people are getting used to it. You could see that outside, like what is happening around. Yes, the present situation has thrown a lot of challenges to us. Smart people definitely always turn the challenges into opportunities. We could have seen, like a lot of people writing in the social media about their success stories out of this present pandemic. We know that how Zoom market jumped ahead of others. They capitalized on the situation, boom in the digital marketing, and so on. Our 191 billion Indian information technology sector is also able to survive to an extent during this pandemic, as we are able to quickly adapt to the requirement of the clients without any disruption. So we have just discussed that COVID. Like we have been hearing a lot also that COVID has slowed down the market. A lot of people started losing jobs and so on. But we need to keep in mind it is going to open the door for some new opportunities also. There will be much stronger integration of technology in every corner. So it will lead to a lot of opportunities which will require newer skills. We were talking about need for problem solving skills in the past. A lot of us were trained. Whoever comes there, training institutes or your faculty or your placement officer telling about like the need for having the problem solving skills. Now industry looking for good problem finding skills also. Newer capabilities will be in demand. Here is where you need to show your uniqueness as a student. The ones who are quick to understand the requirement of the newer skills in the industry and making them skilled in it will definitely win the race. Though some sectors like tourism, real estate, entertainment expected to slow down. Some industries like healthcare, obviously, healthcare, education, and so on will start leveraging the technology much more than what they were using in the past. So that's the reason why you could see, like how this online classes are all emerging. Faculties are forced to complete the syllabus, and Sathyabama also quickly adapted to that situation and then ensured that like all the left out syllabus are covered through the online medium. So that's going to be the way it is. Still till now, like we are unsure of like when the college is going to reopen. Yesterday, like they extended up to June 31st. So this is what it is going to be the way forward. There are plenty of platforms who offers you to learn for free, especially like during this pandemic. So it's up to us to make use of such platforms. The platforms like Coursera, Udemy, and so on, like offers a lot of free courses and certifications. I request you, all of you, to like make use of it, and then that's where like your self skilling comes into the picture. Industry is going to watch you. End of the pandemic, or when you are going to appear for the campus recruitment, like they are going to watch like during this period, like how did you make use of such kind of opportunities and so on. So we talked about like the skills, like or like the opportunities will be created, like because of the new integration of technologies in some areas and things like that. So the obvious question will be what technology to learn, and which one is going to be in demand. Definitely it will be running on your mind. I already mentioned in one of the platform that the COVID-19 pandemic is fast tracking the digital transformation in companies. Companies, already, like move towards digital side, like it is now, like fast tracking this pandemic situation. So every organization wanted to be more resilient to the future outbreaks and disruptions. True. We need to be prepared for such kind of future outbreaks. It may become the new normal if countries get into bio war. You know what is happening. Like who's blaming whom and all those things. You need to be like a bit more watchful and bit more ready. Like if this bio war is going to continue in the future also. Based on what we witness, the technologies like artificial intelligence, big data, cyber security, robotics, and IoT will definitely make business more resilient to the future pandemics. And if you are an electronics engineer, you can think of robotics, PLC, SCADA, embedded system, and MATLAB and so on. If you're a mechanical engineer, you can look into intelligent manufacturing system, robotics again, autonomous and electric vehicles. I'm a civil engineer. We would have heard about 3D printing, how it is going to change the feel in the construction side. So though I have mentioned a few of the technologies, I'm sure all the premium colleges, those who have a strong industry connect, will expose you to your recruiter, and you can understand the requirements specific to those corporates. Keep your ears open to listen to them. Even if you don't get those opportunities through your colleges, the new normal have given a lot of opportunities to listen eminent personalities from the industry through webinar and a lot of other platforms. Definitely, this opportunity is going to continue. The WebEx, Zoom, Teams, and webinars are all the new buzzwords now. Gone are those days when the companies looked for only the fundamental knowledge from the students. Now more and more companies expects the students to master in a specific technologies. The pandemic, situation, people are still looking to reduce the cost. Again, it'll make the it'll put the pressure back on you, wherein the companies will definitely look for people who master in a specific technologies. Most of the organization trying to cut the cost on the training, so it will help the company to put the students, if you are skilled, it will help the students to put them directly into the job and start billing if they are already skilled, on the expected technology, which is a requirement of that particular company. It will help them to, directly give you some assignment, start billing the client on behalf of you. So such kind of people only will be preferred. So the students who masters in one or two technologies on their choice, which is in demand, will be in a better position to grab the better job opportunities. So the best way to skill or acquire skills is to develop your technical skills along with the soft skills. A lot of us don't give that much weightage to the soft skill, but soft skill is a very integral skill set, which most of us, as I mentioned, don't bother about. We generally pay more attention to develop the technical skills. We have seen a lot of students, who are really good, we call them as a pakka techies, but, get rejected in the interviews. During the placement training also, we have seen, people pay close attention to the aptitude training and technical training, but not that much when it comes to the soft skill development part. The present working model requires you to communicate with the clients very frequently, and to move up in the ladder after a couple of years of experience, definitely to any leadership position, your soft skill is going to be the deciding factor. So please ensure to develop your communication skill, team playing skill, leadership skills. You should be passion to innovate, out of box thinking. I heard from one of the talks very recently from one of the senior person, mentioning that the railway coaches are converted into isolation bed. That was the idea given by the student. I don't know how far it is true, but this is what been expected out of you. This is what actually give you the advantage ahead of the experienced one. That's one major reason why the demand for the freshers are always there. So we talked about what are the technologies in demand, how opportunities can be converted. Now after acquiring the skills, how it is going to how you are going to sell yourself in the market. Okay, I keep telling our students that job hunting is nothing but selling your skills. The skills that you possess will put the price tag on you. The final year students are passed out. So last 3-4 years this is happening. You would have seen that lot of companies who would have come to your campuses offered differential packages. So when I say that differential packages, they will come and say that I will offer anything in between 6 lakhs and 10 lakhs. I will offer anything from 10 lakhs and 27 lakhs. Amazon is a classic example. They start from 8.5, even they pay up to 27. So what is going to be the deciding factor? You can understand skills. Okay, when I take Sathyabama University as an example, we have offered even 41 lakhs per annum. There were students who are 27 lakhs per annum, 18 lakhs per annum, 15s, 10s. There are a lot. And there were students, who got 3 lakhs per annum also. Now that tells a story. Depending upon your proficiency on the technology, in a specific technology and soft skill, will decide your value. So it's up to you, it's in your hand, it's not about getting the job. Everybody will get the job, but what kind of job that I'm going to get, what kind of package that I'm going to get, am I good enough to get into the my own dream job, my own specific technology. Everything you can choose, it's all up to you, plenty of opportunities available. I strongly believe that this covid, or this pandemic has given us a very good opportunity to learn from the best of the best in the industry. So be it an industry, with a lot of college, even in our college also we started rolling out the small courses from the industry. 3 days course, 5 days course, 7 days course. We started students started learning from the industry people. And most of the time, it's all going open platform. So you can try to learn on this. With all these things, we should ensure that you come to the stage of building your own resume. Now when I talk about all this skill development and all those things, it is not going to come in a short period of time. It is it should be developed over a period of time. So when you are going to sell yourself in the industry, overnight preparation and the skills that acquire just before the campus recruitment starts, all those things, it is not going to work out that much actually. To make yourself more sellable in the market, and to set a big price tag, I'm telling you, as I mentioned, there are different slabs, different salary packages being offered. And I also talked about what is the skills being expected. So having known that, I'm sure there are more students sitting here are from the second year and third year. So we always suggest the students to start building these resumes, as early as possible. It will, because if you could do it from the first year itself, it's going to add more value, than starting in the later stage. But if you are a second year or third year student, building it right away, definitely it's going to add more value rather than delaying it to the late. So second year, obviously, obviously you, if you would have missed your first year thing, start right away. Don't push it back. Third year students, there is no other go. It's not. I'm not talking about resume preparation. I'm talking about building your resume. It should be built over a period of time. It should be built over 2 years or 3 years time. We strongly say that we have seen quite a few people who actually start preparing, start getting into the industrial platforms, contests, hackathons in the first year itself. We have seen. And such kind of people, when they come to the final year, there are huge transformations. Then these are the students who effortlessly attract the industries who's paying high packages. So due to the digitalization, generally the employer will be able to track your skill developments. For example, you can take a lot of example, skill platforms from with the digital footprint in place. You can even find out from where they started acquiring skills, from when they started acquiring skills, each semester what did they do, and so on. They can do that. For the ones who use HackerRank platform, will be much aware of that. You can earn badges. Actually, there are obviously different badges there. When you give your HackerRank ID to the employer will be able to see your complete track record, starting from which date you started using the platform and how frequently you are using it, how frequently you are getting into the contest which has been posted by the HackerRank platform. See, all these things are quite visible. So imagine a situation, one student going and telling, from the first year onwards, I started using this HackerRank platform. First semester, this is what the number of badges that I earned, and the second semester, this is what the badges I earned. Likewise, Now, if he can list it out, and similarly, like the other things also, like if he can list out, like that will show, like your credential. That is what I call it as resume building, like semester by semester. Even if you get into, like month by month, what have you developed, that's going to be the key, and that's going to be the deciding factor in any employer will look forward for it. And definitely, like you need to go beyond your syllabus. You cannot, like stick on to your regular syllabus and then, try to learn whatever maybe it is. Yeah, getting, 9 CGPA, 9.5, 9.9, and 6 CGPA on all those, that doesn't matter actually. The CGPAs and your 10th 12th marks, it's going to be just an eligibility criteria. Okay. And we have seen so many students, like even toppers struggling to get their food inside the industry, maybe even the 5 companies or 6 companies also. Whereas there are people, like with arrears, like get placed even much better than their toppers or top 5 rank holders. It had happened actually. Okay. So I also, like had an experience, like one of the student, like when he got a 10.5 lakhs offer, like even the department people were surprised. They thought that, like was it by a mistake? There was a student, like with arrear, like he got a 10.5 lakhs offer with Byju's. So fortunately, his skill suited Byju's requirement, and he got an offer with the Byju's for 10.5 lakhs. People were amazed. Okay. So that is what the reality is. So your academic score alone, obviously, I'm not going to tell you that academic scores are not essential. Yeah, there are companies, like who will say that 70% from 10th onwards, 80% from 10th onwards, no history of arrears and all those things. You may think that, what is the better eligibility criteria? What should I score? It's actually, like we cannot give a fixed solution or fixed answer to it, because there are a lot of companies who's very open in telling us that, not to look into the academic scores at all. So you just tell them, these are all the technologies that I need. Whoever is familiar with these kind of technologies, ask them to appear. If they can clear my process, if they can clear my process, definitely, like they can get inside and then get the offer from my organization and join my team. What I need is just a skill. That's it. And I remember, like when once one of the startup 3 years back, Doodle Blue, when they visited our college, the CEO made the presentation, and CEO promised in the open platform, open presentation, he promised to the students, saying that, I assure that none of my staff member, either the HR or any of our teammates, will not ask for your degree certificate. That's something interesting. Okay, you don't have to submit your degree at all. I don't bother about whether you are completing your degree or not. But that's going to be the minimal numbers. And how Zogo is operating. Zogo, a lot of them are keen to join. But Zogo, there is no eligibility criteria at all. Go compete in the open platform. If you can clear it, nobody is going to look into your 10th score or 12th score or your present CGPA. No, nothing. It's an open platform. Go find it, like hit the market, like compete with everybody and then hit it. They do not going to look into, like this person is having 9.5 CGPA, so let me give him some advantage, and this person is having 5 arrears, reject him. No way. There's a lot of such companies, but we will always say that, like generally, I keep advising our students also the same thing. When you listen to your seniors also, listen to the better part of it actually. Okay. So when seniors, like I'm sure there are some final year students also might be telling, it's not about, like going and telling them, chumada I prepared in the previous day, like somehow I was able to crack it. I'm telling you, that's going to demotivate a lot of people. There could be, like 1 or 2 negative stories, 1 or 2%, or maximum I would say 5% of the negative stories which would have been converted into positive. But most of the cases, like it will go down. So let us not play the spoil part. Like tell them, like how, like it is essential to prepare them over the period of time, starting from the first year or second year, depending upon that. Like seniors can definitely, like get into the classes of your juniors and then share your experience, but motivate them on a positive way. I know you guys might be understanding what I'm trying to say. There are a lot of folks, like who will actually try to, like show their heroism in saying that, like this is what the shortcut that I have taken and all those things. Definitely. No, no, it is not going to, help you out. So ensure that to, participate and go beyond, your regular curriculum. Definitely, there are a lot of opportunities for self-skilling, and that will definitely help you to build a strong resume. And participate in hackathons, contests conducted by a lot of industries, like application developments, do the paper presentations, do some MOOC courses, NPTEL certification, I think in our institute also, we made it compulsory for the students to, finish certain number of NPTEL certifications, these are the things which is going to add value to your resume. Okay, there are a lot of campus ambassadors programs also offered by industries. Please apply and make use of those opportunities. At Sathyabama, when I take our case, we have ambassadors for Google, we have Microsoft ambassador, Dell ambassador is there, last 2 years, we were into the top five, and last year, we are into the top two, and we were the best institute also by the awarded by Dell through the ambassador program. LinkedIn ambassador is there, Hacker Rang, and many more people are, offering campus ambassadors program. But when I say that this big brand, there are lot of such. I have mentioned quite a few only. There are lot of such companies, offering it. But beware of some companies, who offer you campus ambassador position to market their product or course. I have come across a lot of students. We have a strong policy to not to entertain such kind of ambassador programs within our university, because sometimes student feel that I got a campus ambassador program, we were not allowed and things like that, because we know, what is essential, and we had the past experience from your seniors how they have utilized your skills or networking for promoting their product and things like that. Obviously they can product for example, Dell ambassador, definitely one of their the assignment is to promote their latest laptop. But those are all the exception, because Dell, apart from that, they provide so many opportunities, even visiting the Dell factories, interacting with the Dell leadership team, taken them to the Dell office and made them to, be there in the office 3 to 4 days time. Lot of opportunities were given. These are all very open students, you don't have to depend on the colleges also sometimes, it's all in the open platform. You can go ahead and then, whether your institute is entertaining or not, you can go ahead and then approach those companies and then get it. So be judicious on choosing. If they provide opportunities for your skill development, go for it. Look for the better opportunity, develop your skills. There are a lot of opportunities, no need to, just for the names to get into, campus ambassadors and or the contest and things like that. Ensure to do one or two internship also before appearing for the campus recruitment. I would suggest, if you're a first year student, start from the first year itself. See, it's like 6 months you learn, okay, one semester. So what did I do with that 6 months learning? That's supposed to be the attitude. 1 year I completed, 12 months I learned, okay. Out of the 12 months, whatever I learned, what did I make out? This is what's supposed to be the attitude, and this is that kind of hunger should be there to learn. So COVID actually created a lot of remote internship opportunities, and hope you might be aware. I know, Internshala is offering it for a long time. A lot of opportunities passed on through Internshala. Again, there also I have noticed, and I have addressed to the students also. Okay, so Internshala, there are a lot of internship with attractive stipends. But it may not be, to be frank, it may not be worth to carry on. So don't look into the stipend part alone. Okay, analyze whether it is going to be helpful for your career and profession. That's very important. Okay, so if I'm a computer science engineer and I'm passionate in, I wanted to be a data scientist, or AI engineer, whatever it is. So look for something related to that, actually, rather than, somebody is offering stipend, they are expecting you to promote this and that and things like that. No, don't go for that. Be choosy on what you do, because opportunities are plenty. That's what I keep saying. if it is if you don't have I mean, don't think about stipend. You can definitely look for, even if somebody is not offering stipend, but you, if you get an opportunity to learn from that particular internship, please go for it. You can earn money after joining the job, with that, like without money, if you work on a good internship, that will actually multiply your salary when you appear for the campus recruitment or when you are getting into the job. So acquiring skills is essential, my dear students. Okay, TCS Ion also launched a remote internship platform very recently. I think I think in this month beginning, in this month the beginning, they have done that in align to the AICTE guidelines. Industries can start engaging the students remotely through their platform. Guys, like you can use that. Like you can get into TCS Ion, remote internship. You can Google it, and then you'll be able to find out. Like there are a lot of opportunities. And we were talking about earlier, I was talking about, participate in the contest to build your resume. Okay, so most of the companies are rolling out open platform contest. For example, the master code is the one rolled out by Cognizant. Code Vita is a very famous one among the students, which has been offered by TCS. Cape Gemini has their tech challenge, and Hack with Envy. Obviously, last time you would have heard about, from your seniors, how many offers they have made. Apart from that, Code Jam by Google, a lot of my students have participated in it. Code Chef been by DirectI, and so on. Microsoft, I'm sorry, Microsoft also have, I'm unable to recollect the name right now, but you can Google it. Microsoft also has such kind of contest. So there are big money also involved for the prize winners. So though we don't push the students to go for the money, you need to look into skill development. So because when you contest, generally a lot of companies, not, they are not going to leave it to you alone. When you come to a stage, most of the companies assigning mentors to you, actually from the industry, from their company itself, assigning mentors to you. So it becomes a very good opportunity to team up with them, and then compete on a much better way. Okay, so apart from that, generally, the contest, whatever is happening, they attach job opportunity also along with that. Okay, TCS Code Vita also, offered jobs through it. Have Hack within Fee, anyway, I have already mentioned, and this is going to continue further with better numbers. So generally, these are all the things, if you could do it, and if you can go, definitely go beyond your curriculum to add all those things, definitely it will carry more credits with you. And such kind of people definitely will have the edge among others. A lot of interviewers are keen to know that, what have you done apart from your regular curriculum? That's a very, very common question, which you may come across. So that will, when you have answer to that, when you have, things to list out, I talked about hackathons, contest, paper presentation, certifications, all those things. So you can imagine, you are going to be unique. You are going to, definitely you can demand, actually you can demand. So rather than getting a 6 less, automatically, people will try to grab you without leaving to their competitors. This hunt is on. Why people set different differential package? Why people are paying more to some students within the same organization and less for some students? It's for the skill. So keep that in mind. This is what I keep wanted to, keep knocking the students head, and then tell, forget about the situation, whatever is prevailing around. Okay, even, you are talking about whether market will go down, or market will be better, or will it be going to be good for the freshers. Forget about everything. You just concentrate on skill development. That will take you to the places. The hunt for the skilled resources will be always there, not to worry about anything else at all. So develop your self skilling habit right away. I have seen some of the panelists, like even when they come for the campus recruitment, used to take small breaks and go listen to some lectures or mandatory courses to be completed. So that tells the story even for the, even for talking about 10 years, 15 years experienced people. So that is happening actually. We have witnessed actually, like I even, like showed to some of our students also. See, they are taking a course. This is what we have been telling, like all along. Go talk to your seniors. Like just get into the habit of, like learning. All the lifetime you need to learn, man. Otherwise, like you cannot survive at all. Anywhere you go, you carry your tutor along with you. That's the beauty of this new era digital world. So this is what, like self skilling going to give you the advantages. And let's so that's why, like it's a long subject to build resume, like you would have seen it. But that's the way, like you are going to add value to you. You are going to add credits to your bag actually, to go and approach the company or go and tell them, hey, this is what I need. You can list out actually. You can demand, like what salary that you want. You can reject certain recruiters. Recruiters will come behind you if you have the right skills with you. So keep that in mind and then carry on. So now, let's get into the hiring strategies post COVID. And this one, like I don't, I seriously wanted to, like remove this word post COVID, because already, like we started this mode, and then, like we have seen the sign of this. When actually, like we talk about the hiring strategies, we can think of, like two major things, like two different angles, I would say, like the metrics to find the right fit from the employer side, if you look into, and the obviously the mode of recruiting, which is going to be the new normal. To be frank, I have covered the metrics expected by the industry in the previous topic itself, when I explained the importance and then requirement of self skilling. So the mode of recruitments, the most of the recruiters likely to go for virtual recruitment process, not likely to be. And that looks to be the model if they wanted to, like tap the better resources in the industry. Obviously, like you might be knowing in any top institutes, like the hunt for the top slot is always on. So people doesn't want to, like leave the slot later to the others. The companies already started planning to hire the top talents without losing them to their competitors. So, there were talk or, like there were situation in the past also. We had there are few companies, who visited twice to the institutes, and we had been hindered, like even if situation gets worst in the upcoming months, there are companies, like who may think about, like visiting twice. First time you come and then, like reserve on a safer side numbers, like the better talents, and then come and then hire future, like requirement, like based on they call it as just in time hiring, like at that time whatever is additionally needed, they will come and then hire. So the companies are in a situation to pivot their recruitment strategies and shift the process definitely online. So if they are coming for early recruitment stalls, definitely, like they have to go online. They are forced to go digital, not only for the recruitment, but even for onboarding also. The final year students, whoever is listening, like we have been started approaching by a lot of companies. Okay, so to do the onboarding online itself. Okay, in fact, they will move towards remote totality. Okay, so which is nothing but starting from could it be a job posting, screening your resume, and a recruitment process, onboarding, training and development. The work routine, like become very normal, and everything may go remotely. The remote video proctored test will become very common. There are a lot of AI powered test platforms ready to handle this. That's another business opportunity. Like I missed to mention it in the previous slides. Like we were talking about, like there are a lot of industries which is growing. So the AI based test platforms, like it's a big industry, like creating for them actually. HR will rely on video interview viewing. While tools like Hangouts, Zoom, GoToMeeting, all will serve the purpose. The EPPTs we talked about, like pre-placement talks happening in the industry. Now it will become EPPTs. Okay, so no wonder, like we from Sathyabama we started, like inviting our other companies to have the interaction or have the PPTs, like through online itself, because there are companies have the habit of coming and talking to the students much before the campus recruitment starts. So we were thinking, why don't we go for it now? So the PPTs, EPPTs, I mean, the live charts, digital placements, e-interviews, and so on will be the new reality in the campus placement. So that is what is going to be the new mode of recruitment. Already lot of companies have done that this year at our university also. Okay, Cognizant, Oracle, and Nokia allowed the students to take the test from home through video proctored tests, which like students can take the test from home. But obviously, they ask the students to come to the university to attend the interviews. Not to be surprised if the full process goes online for the upcoming batch. In fact, one of the IT major hinted us very recently this week on the same to go fully online and to be prepared, because they have the plan of retaining their employees to work from home itself for at least the next 3 to 4 months time. So they have already decided, like even if campus is happening, they will allow the students to take from home, and the interviews also will happen over video. So get exposed to such kind of environments. Again, there is a lot of opportunities are there. It's all the heads up, how the industry is going to move towards. So we need to ensure that the opportunities are utilized to get exposed to such kind of environments. Most of the colleges have given online platforms to take the test. Mostly everybody will have it, even if your college is like don't have it, like I'm sure whoever is attending this definitely will have it actually. Even one or two like come from the like tier 3 or colleges, like if such kind of opportunities are not there, there are plenty of free platforms there. Make use of it. And video interviewing, you yourself do it among yourself. Okay, so let us get into that habit, guys. Coding contests, like again, like I'm repeating, technical contacts, like a lot of them were conducted. We already like discussed about it. This are all, why am I repeating is that like this is also going to go online. It's already happening online. Could it be code jam, code chef, master code, or code vita? Already like I've spoken about who's offering what and things like that. These contests will be the recruitment pattern, okay, or like the source of the recruitment for a lot of companies. So keep that in mind, and whatever opportunities comes on your way, I'm sure like your placement officers might be promoting like such kind of contest. So still like you can make a note of it, the code jam, code chef, master code, and code vitas, hack with infi. Google it and then get inside, like you Google it, like anything you can find out what are the opportunities, or what are the platforms that like that. Some of the platforms, like some of the contests are restricted to the partnership colleges, but there are a lot of companies like who offers it to the open public. Anybody can like anybody can get inside and then do it. So that is what is going to be the new normal, and like that is what going to be the new ways of like people who's going to recruit. So with that, like I hope like the organizers, I'm right on time with my 45 minutes talk. So I'll be very happy to take some questions from you, if anything there. I can definitely like I'll try to answer it from my side. And I think like the questions will be allowed to ask through the chat window. So if you can ask through the chat, I'll be happy to answer. Any questions can be put in the chat, and I'll be happy to answer. Okay, sir. When onboarding process will start for the final year students? Okay, so to be frank, generally we say I'm not talking about COVID situation. Generally the recruitment or no like the onboarding will happen anytime in between June and December. That's the period. So earliest is June, and like obviously there will be sometimes like who the students have, or the industries wanted to have you guys by May month itself. It depends actually. So generally we keep saying that June to December. Okay. um, but now the present scenario, we got a call from a lot of recruiters. I'm talking about again Sathyabama as an example. That's what I know. So most of the companies, like who visiting here, like your institute also will have it actually. So when I talk about our recruiters, Cognizant already in talk with us to fix the date of joining. In fact, like all the selects are already into the internship, and they are continuing from their home itself even. Wipro initiated the onboarding process, I mean uploading. So not sure of like when they are going to call, but Cape Gemini already engaging our students through Adopt, and then they are also likely to go for. They look very aggressive to onboard the Cape Gemini students. DXC, in fact, like they started onboarding the. I mean, they started doing the documentation part for the onboarding. So they will also like expected to call. In fact, like you can expect much quicker than others from DXC. And TCS also like already announced companies like Brilio, Amazon. Everybody is planning. Like people are getting tuned to this onboarding through online. So they are getting tuned to it, and definitely you will hear something. Just because of the pandemic, it is not going to delay much, but obviously there could be some delay expected, because it depends. I would say two good examples, two ways to look into it. You may think that some companies have called, some companies will be calling later, some companies have not like told us anything. See, there are two ways of recruiting. There are some bulk recruiters. If they have like 200 students or 300 students from a particular institute to be onboarded, they will onboard them as a batch. But think about the another company, like who would have hired two from your institutes and three from other institutes, or like another 15 from three other institutes. They will have to wait for everybody to complete the exam, and then have the onboarding together. Hope you are getting my point actually. So there are two ways to look into. Okay, it's not that company doesn't have, I don't want to name the brand right now. One company, like mentioned, they wanted to have it early. When I said, like Satyabama students are ready, one good thing happened is that the moment the UGC mentioned that you can go online. We were actually, like, I mean, the leadership team was very well prepared to go online and then finish off the project Viva was online. So it is getting over today for the Satyabama students. So definitely, like, so that means that they are going to get an advantage, because they can say that the course is completed by today. Okay, so they will get an advance. So similarly, like a lot of other colleges also have started. Now the problem will be, like if any of you having the theory examination to be completed in the 8th semester, then like your course completion date may delayed a bit. Actually, not delayed means, like it may slightly be pushed, but everybody is looking for the even like online solution to finish that examination. So it depends actually. It depends, like when it is going to, but like it is anticipated anytime before December, everything should happen. I would say at least, like 60% of the crowd who's recruited should be onboarded before even, October, something like that. So getting a lot of queries. Okay, so I have more areas. I don't want to mention the numbers. Okay, 31 is mentioned. I told you already. Like it's not about areas. Okay, so it's about skills. There are companies like, as I mentioned, Zogo and things. Not only Zogo, there is plenty of companies who don't talk about the eligibility criteria at all. But if you possess the right skill, you are definitely into it. Okay, how to develop the technical and aptitude skills from the basic level. If you are a first year or second year students, obviously, like you have a lot of time in the world to get into a lot of platforms and then do it. I'm sure, as I told, like a lot of your institutes might be having the platform, and a lot of your institutes might be offering the campus recruitment training program. Please, take care of it, like as and when it is offered, because like these are the skills, it cannot be developed overnight. But even if it is not there, online platform, there are a lot of e-learning. We talked about self-learning. To be frank, like it will give you more advantage, than, like the classroom based, because you will, you can, the major advantage is you can learn the course through online on your self paced style. I have seen a platform, even like it will teach you something. E-learning platform I'm talking, it will teach you, and then it will ask you a question. If you answer it wrong, it will take you back to the old. It's like, one faculty hand holding you, come on my child, like you have not understood, so like I will come down one step down and then start explaining, so it goes to the previous level. Okay. It's an adaptive environment, you can understand. So a lot of advantages there in the e-learning part. So self learning going to be the key. So how can we prepare to face interview with HR? And also, would it be better to have a final year project before we go to the final placement? Obviously, the project, and how coming to the first one, definitely, the your college, I don't know which college you are from, we do it, we at Sathyabama also, like we do it in multiple levels actually, starting from inter-department level to the industry level, we do it. So again, you need to create platforms, reaching out to one of your senior or somebody, from your family, get used of such kind of environment, and get used to that kind of interview facing also. Actually, 2 3 interviews, prior to the campus recruitment, definitely will give you the advantage. And project, obviously, you need to carry something. I keep telling our students also, rather than going and telling blah blah orally. Okay, put something on the table and then start explaining. That will give you a lot of advantage actually. Okay, keep something on the table and start explaining. That will give you more confidence also. So yes, it is good too, and I'm sure, like almost all the curriculums, like entertaining to do at least a mini project before sixth semester, whether it is there in your syllabus or not, you go for it. Have one project, it will definitely help you out. uh, and another question, we are learning how to know. Just a second, I'm getting the call from the organizer. Dinesh sir. Dinesh sir. Hello. Hello. Dinesh, if you're listening, I received a call from your number. Okay, not sure whether you called for something else. Okay, is there any chance to get placed in companies without coding knowledge?